All right, all right. So, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another installment of Your Money Matters Financial Empowerment Show. I am your host, Letha Thornton, here with you on another Tuesday as we seek to move the culture forward with all things money and finance. We want to continue to keep you on the path of creating wealth, learning the different strategies that are necessary to build a strong financial house and just be financially bulletproof as it is predicted that things look a little crazy financially. So, trying to provide resources and information to you so that you can have some tools you can use to become financially independent. And a big part of creating wealth and financial independence is entrepreneurship, right? Where the paycheck to paycheck thing may not be making it do what it do, and people create businesses and go into entrepreneurship. They have a calling where there's something that they want to do outside of their 9 to 5 or their profession. So we have a wonderful show tonight for you, and it happens to be ladies night, right? Women are definitely dominating when it comes to starting businesses and entrepreneurship and all that fun stuff. So we wanted to have a ladies night, but also bring awareness to Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is officially Check Your Boob Month, but we also want to spend some time recognizing what's going on when it comes to treatment and making sure that we encourage and empower as many people to pay attention to their body. So we have some great women on here tonight, and they're going to come to you and they're going to share what it is that they do, their business, how they got started, what made them start their business, some fun things maybe about them that people don't know, how you can get in contact with them, and what does Breast Cancer Awareness Month mean to them. So, what we're going to do is talk with them, and then we'll have a little bit of a roundtable discussion about entrepreneurship. So, the first person that I'm going to bring up as I continue to network, social media is such a great platform. And I happen to find two young ladies in the same group that have fantastic businesses. So I wanted to bring them on. And we're going to start with Tiani Butler. She is a licensed cosmetologist and the owner of Dipping in Tea. So, are you with us, Tiani?
Yes, hi guys.
Hey, 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 that smile. So happy to have you here. You seem
I'm
happy as
happy
well.
to be here. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. So it's like,
Very nice. Remembering that all great things happen outside of your comfort zone, right? So,
definitely.
you are here for exposure.
Yes.
Tell us what kind of business you have.
Okay, so starting off, my name is Tiani. I own a Dipped in Tea collection. Um, I'm a hairstylist. I just graduated school, so I'm like hairstylist slash boutique type shop.
Mhm.
Um, I try to have like a one stop shop because I'm into everything. But I sell hair, I sell clothing, shoes, jewelry, like literally everything you can name. Hair oil, hair grease, all like it all.
Okay, so you tend to the whole scalp.
Yes, I try to.
Very nice. So tell us a little bit about how your business got started. What made you go into this line of beauty?
What made me go into this business, being younger, I always like was fascinated with different hairstyles, wanting to try different stuff, and like my mom, she was over doing my hair at one point. So once she let me get that vibe of, growing into a young woman and, learning myself and, trying different stuff with my hair, it just was like a love that I always had and I just kept with it. And I just love making other women feel beautiful. And it's just like you never know who you meet, especially like, doing hair and just networking in general.
That is very, very, very true. You're absolutely right. And beautification has always been something that make women feel special, make them feel, you know, I don't know, you got a little pep in your step after you got your hair done, or you
Makes
get
me feel like a
bought
different
you
woman.
some, you do, bought yourself some new hair or something, right?
Right.
So absolutely very nice. And tell us one fun fact about you.
A fun fact about me is that I think I probably come off as super duper quiet, but I'm really not. I'm
Okay.
very like a outgoing person. I'm very like, more so funny than other than the business side. Cause I feel like I've been a lot serious now because I've been so focused. So
Sure.
I feel like that's kind of a fun fact. I'm not all like mean and stuff, but I can, come off as.
Understand. Absolutely. And when you were getting your business in the shape that you wanted to be in, it just seems like you always on go mode, you always focused, you're always business minded. Sometimes I have to stop people and be like, if it's not about business, like we can't really talk about it right now. You
But
know,
yeah, I agree.
you agree? So
Yeah.
yeah, people mistake that sometimes for you being so serious, but you just
Mhm.
focus and driven, right?
Yes, it's like tunnel vision.
Absolutely. So, Tiani, tell the folks how can they get in contact with you if they wanted to purchase any of your services or if they wanted to purchase some of the products and things that you have?
You can get in contact with me through Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. Instagram is at Dippin' Tea Collection,
Hmm.
and my Facebook page is Dippin' Tea Co. They're all like linked together, but my Instagram is my main page where you can always contact me. Phone number is on there, email is on there, like all of my information if you want anything.
Okay, very nice. And we get to spotlight you. What section of Philadelphia are you in?
I'm in North Philadelphia.
You're in North Philadelphia. Okay. All right, very good. Well, I'll ask you because you rose to the occasion. You have on pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah.
Tell us, you can either share, and pay tribute to someone that you know that overcame or someone you lost to breast cancer, but just share what does Breast Cancer Awareness Month mean to you?
Well, I can share a little bit of my aunt passed away a few years ago from breast cancer. So, like breast cancer month is definitely a little touchy because I she wasn't the only one I lost to cancer, but she was the only one that was to breast cancer. So it's like cancer in general is definitely like a touchy feeling with me and just in general. So I
Sure.
definitely want to pay tribute to all of my aunts, my aunt Esther, my aunt Jeanette. Rest beautifully. And then it's just like to the women that's here. I like that they have a month that's dedicated to them
Sure.
because it's so much that they go through, and it's like don't nobody understand like the chemo and all the other stuff that the background of dealing with that their family also has to deal with as well. So I just want to contribute to them, and just know that you're never alone. Like it's a bunch of us, and it's like I'm always supporting breast cancer, and it's just like I hope that one day there is a cure for it.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with you. Hoping that there is a cure. It's unique in a sense for women, because a lot of the times our breasts are such a big part of who we are, right? So we gotta take care of ourselves. But also we wear so many other hats. So, treatment is tougher than it is for, I don't want to say for men, but
Hmm.
there's a lot of other arrangements that women have to make when it comes to their care and treatment. So, absolutely. So, we're going to bring you back for the Entrepreneur Roundtable after we finish with the other ladies, and we'll talk a little bit more to you then.
Alrighty, see you
All
guys
right. See you
later.
shortly. So, the next beauty that we're going to bring up is who I found in the same group as I found Tiani. We're going to bring up Miss Asia Amsterdam, the owner of Get Fit, Get Paid Sisterhood. So
Hey,
I'm not going to flex mine because it might have a little undertone of flat, but Um, but welcome to the show. I am so thrilled to have you on here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. Tell us a little bit about you, how you got started, what your business is, all that good stuff.
All right. So, like she already said, my name is Asia Amsterdam, and I am actually a personal trainer amongst being a serial entrepreneur. I also do graphics design, web design, t-shirt design, flyer design, all that type of stuff. I've been trying to get into creating NFTs as well. So I love to get myself dipped into creativity, and I, of course, put that in my business. So I don't have to hire other people yet, as it don't fit in my budget yet.
I
Okay,
heard
I'm just
that.
gonna be honest with
I
you.
heard that.
So yeah, Get Fit, Get Paid Sisterhood is a online fitness platform. I call it my virtual gym, and this is a safe place, a safe space for women where they can truly, in their own comfort and at their own pace, follow their journey into their fit lifestyle they want to achieve or their health lifestyle they want to achieve, right? Because there's so many ladies that want to but maybe be scared, intimidated, not sure what to do or where to start, and then the internet is so full with so much information that you can't see the forest with all the trees. And so I created this virtual gym platform to get closer to a lot more people versus being available locally. Yeah, I train with people from Aruba. I train with people from the Netherlands, Belgium, from the UK. I train with people from all over US. And it's more so the sisterhood, the accountability that we're able to bring towards each other, and not making any excuses to prioritize ourselves, right? Because, in my opinion, exercising is prioritizing yourself. Prioritizing yourself is a form of self love. And this is definitely something that I think that a lot of women forget when they're trying to choose for themselves, trying to do something for themselves, that they a lot of times feel guilty because they have maybe other things to do or the kids to take care of or so many hats to wear at the same time. But it's so important to be aware that it's very important to prioritize yourself at least 40 minutes to an hour a day to get your fitness in and to be mindful of the kitchen choices. So yeah, that's what I do. Within my virtual gym, we work out online, live every single day from Monday through Friday. I also offer on-demand workouts for different categories, so different workout styles. So maybe you're more into building muscle, I have workouts for that. If you're more into losing weight, burning fat, I have workouts for that. You try to get more flexible, I got you on that. So there's a whole list of workout categories that you can choose from within the platform. And of course, I would offer meal plans and one-on-one accountability and coaching, which is something very rare because it's already in my platform. A lot of times when you go to a different platform where you choose to train online, a lot of times you got to pay extra for a personal trainer to get that one-on-one attention or to get that one-on-one guidance. But that's not with me. Everything's included. Now, where does the get paid comes from? I created it as a way to create a affiliate program where my members become affiliates, where they can offer the platform to other women and earn a little extra on the side, because we all know groceries is expensive. Trying to get into the healthy choices in the grocery store is extra expensive on top of the groceries that you may need to get for your family. So I figured I wanted to create it a way where women cannot really use an excuse, because you are allowed to and able to earn at the same time while you work on your fit and health goals. So you are able to afford that healthy lifestyle to for you to be able to continue and stay consistent with the journey that everybody's in. So yeah.
I love it. That's really unique, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you and I were kind of talking a little bit, and talk to the audience for maybe a minute or so about not just the losing weight part, but the psychological, the mentals behind what is required to not just lose weight, but to keep it off.
Right. So the only thing that I can say is habit changes. Like, it took us a certain amount of habits to get where we are, where we may not be happy with ourselves, or the doctor may have told us that we are not as healthy as we thought we was, because of the habits that has been so rooted in our system, right? I am mixed Indonesian, and we also have soul food in our way. And in my brought up, I was brought up with rice, chicken, and vegetables for breakfast. And which is really cool. Like, I turned up to be fine eventually. But would I have continued that type of diet until now, I would definitely have weight issues, maybe more health issues. And since we're talking about breast cancer as well, it's like the family illnesses that runs through our families that I am trying to break. So we're talking about a lot of trying to break generational curses in financially. Now people are getting aware of building credit, how important it is. But what about the generational curses when it comes to our diet, our habits that we choose to continuously do over and over, and we're bringing it into our children, our future, and they're gonna keep going with it as well. Now, not trying to bash, but the other day I had came to find out from a video that there was over 30 food ingredients that are allowed in the US but banned in 30 different countries. So that makes you already aware of, shoot, I really have to take in consideration what I do in the kitchen and what do I feed my family, so they don't have to suffer and go through the health issues that generations before us went through it, right? And just a small example real quick, my dad unfortunately had a minor heart attack 4 years ago, but it took him that minor heart attack in order for him to change his habits. And I'm trying to prevent that. I am trying to not to go that route and not to have to take medication. And also, I'm trying to get pregnant. So I'm trying to get my body physically ready to be able to carry that pregnancy. So for me, fitness and a healthy lifestyle is more a preparation for whatever the future may hold for me, right? And I think that that's a very big thing, because I believe everybody knows it, right? Everybody knows we got to eat more vegetables, we got to eat more fruit, we got to drink more water, we got to exercise regularly. And we also say knowledge is power, but it's only power when being implemented.
Very true.
So it's like, when are we going to start implementing it in our lifestyle so that will become our new habit? And that will continue give you the consistency that people need in order for them to not just to lose the weight, but to keep the weight down.
Oh my goodness, you just said a mouthful of things that I just started thinking like, yep, I need to do that. Yeah. Absolutely. So tell people, how can they get in touch with you? How can they access these virtual classes? Share the deets with us.
Okay, so you can definitely go to my website, getfitgetpaidsisterhood.com. But I also have Instagram at getfitgetpaidsisterhood. You will able to find me there, on Facebook as well. If you just type in GFGPSH. So just the first letters of the entire name. You will be able to find me on Facebook. And my email is in there. My WhatsApp phone number is there. So there's multiple ways you can find me, contact me, and reach the platform.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And before I send you into the waiting area, do you have anything that you want to share? You did say something very powerful about our eating habits and cancer and stuff like that, but is there anything that you wanted to share about Breast Cancer Awareness Month?
Please go check yourself out, not just in the month, but literally every day. I mean, I'm pretty sure every woman that watches this or every person that watches this will take a regular shower. So it wouldn't only take you, what, a minute to really check yourself out regularly. For those who are going through it, big virtual hug to you. Sisters, you got this. You're going to overcome this, and there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. And for those who are not with us anymore, I'm really sorry that you had to go through this. For those families that they had to go through that. But yeah, I know there's a lot of women out there fighting, and they will overcome. And, stay positive, and all love and light to you, ladies.
Beautiful. I love the virtual hug. And I love that you're encouraging, people who are currently going through it. So absolutely. Very good. So we are going to put you in the waiting area, and we're going to bring the next person up, but we'll bring you back for the round table. Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. So rounding the bases here. This dynamic individual is someone that I met in another group, kind of kept in touch, just seeing each other around social media, things like that. Social media has been an amazing platform for me to find my guests and have them come on, whether they're talking about money matters or whether they're talking about the entrepreneur spotlight that we do. So this young lady has a dynamic business. We're very, very excited to have her on. She is going to come on, Miss Yasmeen Ali, and she is an esthetician, and she has a spa called the Skincare Connection Spa. And I just wanted to have her on because these services, you don't they're unique. Like I don't see a lot of estheticians, and I definitely don't see a lot of Black estheticians. So I wanted to bring you on. How are you this evening, dear?
I am wonderful. I am wonderful. Thank you so much for the invite. I appreciate it.
It is my pleasure. So tell us about who you are. Tell us how you got started. Share with us the services that you offer, why they're so important, especially when it comes to women and relaxation and things like that. And that will start there.
Okay, so my name is Yasmeen, and I'm the owner of the Skincare Connection Skin and Lash Spa. We're located in Bensalem, Pennsylvania, and we specialize in melanin-rich skin tones. So we specialize in anything skincare related, lashes, and waxing, full body waxing. I've been in business for almost 2 years, and one of the reasons why I got in business for myself is because, like you said, there is not a lot of Black estheticians. So I went to school and got licensed and became the best esthetician that I could be.
Nice.
The services. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I actually worked in the operating room for 21 years. I worked in the operating room as a surgical tech. I specialize in every surgery, but recently in the last 10 years, I did only open heart surgery. So I transformed. I went from that and went over to having and owning my own shop. Where we pamper men and women. We pamper men and women day to day because we realize that a lot of people are out here and it's so busy taking care of everybody else that they don't take care of themselves. So that's one of my main goals, is to make sure that people stop what they're doing and pamper themselves.
Beautiful, beautiful. So the pampering part, what kind of services do you offer at the Skincare Connection?
So the Skincare Connection Spa specialize in anything skincare. So we do facials, we do chemical peels, we do brow mapping, brow tinting, brow lamination. We do full body waxing, we do Brazilians, we do vajacials, we do lashes, all type of lashes. We do everything skincare related. The only things we do not do, because we get asked this a lot. We don't do hair and we don't do nails. But anything skincare, anything that has to do with your face or your body in that aspect, we do.
Beautiful. All right, we're going to talk about this one because it's a word that I've been seeing more and more of, and I just was like, "What? How does this work?" Tell us what a vajacial is.
A vajacial is a treatment to prevent ingrown hairs after shaving or after waxing. So us as an esthetician, we don't recommend shaving at all because shaving promotes ingrowns. So we recommend waxing so that you can wax less often and so that the hair can grow back in a different hair pattern. Usually if you wax every 4 weeks, then it grows in thinner every single time. So then it gets pushed back, and then it's 5 weeks, and then it's 6 weeks. So the hair pattern changes based on you waxing. But a lot of times some women are still prone to having ingrowns if they don't exfoliate properly. So that's where the vajacial will come in. We pretty much just make sure that it's exfoliated and moisturized and hydrated so that you won't get ingrowns.
Oh, see that there? You learn something new every day. I mean, I've never been the biggest fan of shaving either, but I know there are some people who use Nair and use, different things. I don't know if I'm a big fan of the Nair, but you kind of choose between the lesser of the two evils.
One of the things that I noticed that people do when shaving, and I was just telling somebody this today, I don't ever condone shaving for two reasons. Number one is because people usually use the same razor. They never switch up their razor. Mm-hmm. So they don't realize that using a razor multiple times make it blunt. And that right there pretty much allows you to have more of the ingrowns. And the second thing is you leave it in the bathroom, you leave it in the shower, and it's just bacteria that grows on it from the moisture in the bathroom. So when you go to use it again, that bacteria goes into the skin and therefore promotes more ingrowns. So I don't recommend shaving. I'm actually against it.
Got you. You could probably teach a whole class about this.
You know what? I get asked questions daily, and I try to make sure that I put skincare tips like on my Instagram and stuff for people because a lot of people don't know. They don't know. I get a lot of questions day to day about skincare.
And those simple little changes will make all the difference in the world.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
So talk about the licensing process. When you got licensed, what is the schooling like? Like, did you have to go to school for a long time? How does it work?
So I am licensed in the state of Pennsylvania. In the state of Pennsylvania, you have to go to school for 300 hours, and then you have to sit for your boards and actually take a licensing board. So it was pretty grueling. The 300 hours was not that bad, but it was hard when I was trying to work and go to school later in the evening, but it was doable. But the licensing process was pretty grueling.
So I it's more than safe to say with 300 hours, you definitely know what the heck you're talking about. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What's one fun fact? What's something that people don't know about you?
That they don't know about me. Only my close friends really know, but I love pink. I wear pink every day. I love the color pink. My shop is pink. My wardrobe is pink. The inside of my car is pink. Everything is pink. That is one fun fact about me.
So we know your favorite color.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, very good. And as far as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, what would you like to share with our viewers about the importance of Breast Cancer Awareness Month?
So I witnessed a lot of breast cancer in my career, working in the operating room. I've seen women suffer from breast cancer, and I saw how it changed them, how it impacted them, how it changed their quality of life once receiving that diagnosis. The one thing I can say is do not be afraid to touch yourself. Do not be afraid to check in the shower and see if you have any lumps. And if you do, early detection is everything. If you have a lump, let somebody know. If you see a mark, if you see a scar, if you see anything that's out of the ordinary that you didn't notice prior, definitely let someone know, because once you get that diagnosis, your whole world just spins out of control. and your quality of life is definitely changed at that moment.
Absolutely, definitely some depression that sets in
Yes.
with the diagnosis because of,
Yes,
it's one of the harder ones to treat. So
it is. It
absolutely,
is.
early detection.
Early
Well,
detection is key.
absolutely. So I don't think I asked you where can they reach you? Where can people reach you if they want to check out your services or learn more about your skincare tips?
So my spa is located in Bensalem at 2780 Bristol Pike, lower level in Bensalem. If you want to check me out, you can check out my website at www.theskincareconnections with the s.com. I can be found on Instagram. I can be found on Facebook at the_skincare_connection. I usually post every day. I post skincare tips. I post specials before and after. I post a lot. I post a lot for the awareness of the community because, like I said, a lot of people don't know.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so thankful to have you on. I learned something new today, which is
Thanks for
definitely
having me.
what this show is about. So we're going to bring you back for the roundtable in just a second so that we can talk a little bit more and hear some more from you about entrepreneurship. So I'll bring you
Okay.
back shortly.
All right. Thank you.
My pleasure. Talk to you in a minute. So, for my last guest, rounding the bases again, this young lady I also met in another group, and we hit it off right away. And I just thought she had like one of the dopest jobs that I had come across in a really long time. And as you can see, we try to have unique businesses and things on here. And I just thought that her business was spectacular. And I was just like, you gotta come on this show. She is coming from another podcast. She actually has her own podcast as well as she does on Tuesdays. So I'm so thankful that she was able to transition from one podcast to another. Miss Morgan Harvey, are you present? If you are, you got to unmute your camera and unmute your mic. I don't know if she is able, if she's here, or if she is able to tap in. While we are waiting for her, I do want to take a moment. Every entrepreneur spotlight, I was finding that I was showcasing all these other entrepreneurs and not showcasing my own business. So I beat the drum all the time about financial literacy and empowerment. This show came about because someone saw that my message remains the same when it comes to helping educate the community as it pertains to money and finance. As I'm on my financial journey, it's been really, really important for me to help other people to get on their financial journey as well. So I am a licensed financial coach where I can help people wherever they are, whether it comes to budgeting, whether it comes to getting out of debt, whether it comes to properly protecting their income with life insurance. We help with investments, we help with mortgages, we help with legal protection, we help with auto and home renters insurance, commercial insurance, small business insurance. There's just a whole host of things that we do, and the education behind what we provide has been really, really helpful. And it's actually led me to having a podcast because these topics are so incredibly important. It's projected that by 2053, our communities will go off a financial cliff, right? Because there's no savings. There's a lot of millennials who haven't started saving money. It's very hard to save money when you are living from paycheck to paycheck. And it's a crazy cycle because realistically, prices keep rising, but our paychecks are not. So people are, trying to figure out how to reduce things in their life. people I come across saying, how can I cut back on groceries? The necessities of things that we need to survive, right? So I want to make sure that people have an emergency account, making sure that they save 3 to 6 months of their salary. And for goodness sakes, the foundation of any financial house is life insurance, right? If you have young children or if you're planning to have children, making sure that you properly protect your paycheck so that if God forbid something happens, your family doesn't mourn you and your paycheck. I'm very, very big with that. I beat that drum a whole lot because in our communities we often pass poverty, and that's the foundation to stop the passing of poverty, breaking curses, creating wealth for people. So Your Money Matters Financial Empowerment Show came from me just campaigning and spreading the message of financial literacy and financial independence. I can be found on all socials as well. My regular Facebook is Letha Thornton. My Instagram is lethal without the L. That's how I have to get people to be able to pronounce my name correctly. So lethal without the L. You can email me at Freeing Families Financial. Oh, actually, Freeing Families FS, which stands for Freeing Families Financial Services at gmail.com. So it's Freeing Families FS at gmail.com. So I would also encourage you, if you're watching from Facebook or even Instagram, please join our Facebook group, Your Money Matters Financial Empowerment Show, so that you can stay tuned for upcoming shows as well as past shows. If you knew all the people that we've had on here and the resources that we have provided, we have had people talking about life insurance, talking about investments, talking about credit, business credit, taxes, mortgages, real estate, what's needed to buy your first home, just a whole host of things and stuff. This stuff is free, right? This is stuff that we are sharing, and the guests come on and they pour into the audience because we are in the information stage. But as Asia said, if you don't apply the information because you're unsure or you don't know how things work, it's still no good. So that is my little moment, my little commercial. But I continue to want to see everybody excel financially. I'm building some things. I want to see everybody empowered and building some things as well. So I don't know if Morgan got on, but I do want to bring up the owner of cmpradio.net. She not only is behind the scenes making everything work for me so that my show goes smoothly, but she is also a breast cancer survivor. And she's going to talk with you all about some things that are coming up. I'm going to put her on a spot and make her talk a little bit about her journey, so that she too can empower you to make sure that you are doing the things that you need to do when it comes to self-exploration of your breast. So Leslie Wilson, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. How are you?
Good.
Good.
So coming up on October 21st, I'm having through State Rep Carol Kazim's office, I'm doing a event called Mammograms and Mimosa. As a breast cancer survivor, I felt like it was my job to educate and give back. I'm going to be honoring 20 women that have either gone through breast cancer or who are currently going through breast cancer or have survived breast cancer.
Oh, nice. You already have the honorees. Like, how did you pick the people?
So I picked 10 people personally to me, that I know have gone through breast cancer. When I was going through it, at the time, my sister was going through it, and three of my friends were going through it as well. And
Oh,
then, yeah, and then just recently, one of my other friends was going through it. So, we all were able to really just, educate each other, be support to each other, and just let each other know we here. We got this. We're gonna outlive this. So
Oh, wow. That's fantastic, Leslie. I'm so excited about the event. I definitely want to attend and provide a little bit of coverage from our show just to rally our support behind you. That is really, really huge and exciting that you are giving back in that way. And I heard you talk about your sister having cancer, both of you having breast cancer at the same time. But talk about your, if you don't mind, your detection process. And I know everything probably went really, really fast for you, but some of the mental toughness that you had to have. I watched your journey all over social media, and I have never seen someone with breast cancer that was as positive as you were. You were saying, you were transparent that every day was not a good day, but you remain smiling and you continue to encourage other people who weren't even probably going through the hell that you were going through. But I just watched you be probably one of the most positive people. And, I talked about, the depression and things that people go through. And it's not to say that you didn't probably have those moments, but I just really admired your strength. So talk a little bit about that.
so I found out because my sister was diagnosed first, and that's actually what made me check myself. 2 weeks after she found out she had cancer, I checked myself. I found a lump.
Mm,
It was around Christmas time, 2020. Um, and then I was actually down my parents' house in North Carolina. So when I got back, I went, see my doctor because, of course, because I was under 40, they didn't want to immediately send me for a mammogram. They don't want you to go and get a mammogram before 40. I think it was 40. It was 45 or something like that. Um, Went to my GYN. She checked me and then she sent me to go and get a mammogram. Once she did that, then they sent me for a biopsy to biopsy the lump. And it was like I got the biopsy on February 3rd. My birthday was February 4th. And they told me I had cancer on February 5th.
oh man.
Yeah. So that was my birthday gift in 2021. My doctor
Oh,
telling me I have breast cancer. I
Yeah.
think for me, one thing that my doctor told me, she was like, you have to keep going. She was like, you can't allow the diagnosis to get you down. You got to continue to do all the things that you were doing prior to the diagnosis. I think the hardest thing for me, it wasn't losing my breast. The hardest thing for me was going bald. I think I probably cried longer being bald than actually finding out that I had cancer.
right.
And, for me, I was like, there's people out here that's going through more than I am, even though, cancer is a silent killer. Um, I didn't allow it to, and I can't say I didn't have moments where I was down, but for
Mhm.
the most part, I just kept on just pushing myself as though I was somebody else
Right.
and was pushing somebody else. Like it wasn't me going through it, it was somebody else.
That's a really good description. And I also know your daughter was fairly young, and you had to probably keep on the best face possible for your daughter. How was that?
So first I was trying to figure out how I was gonna tell her. So I actually went on Amazon and I was like, little black girl book, breast cancer is what I put in the search.
Hmm.
And immediately it was a book where this little black girl with curly hair, she was on there and she was talking about her mom going through cancer. It was
Mm,
called Oh No, Mommy Has Breast Cancer.
mm,
At the time, my daughter was only 5 when I found out I had cancer. So that was my way of being able to show her, or I had to really step down to her level to let her know that what mommy has and that mommy is going to be okay.
right.
So, kids are kids. I started chemo on her birthday,
Mm,
July 22nd. So by my second treatment, my hair fell out, and she was down in North Carolina. And I called her on FaceTime, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, mommy, where's your hair? I
Oh,
don't like your bald head." And I'm just like,
me neither.
exactly.
Right.
But kids are kids, you know. She
Yeah.
was yeah, just turned 6, and she understood, but she didn't fully understand,
Right.
but having her was amazing, going through the process. It made me really fight to be here for her. So, I did 16 rounds of chemo. I rang the bell on December 9th of 2021.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, you've been in remission ever since.
Yes, ma'am.
God is able. I'm so happy to hear that. Share your other business. Take a moment and plug yourself.
So I'm the CEO of cmpradio.net and CMP Radio Foundation. So you can follow cmpradio.net on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Uh, I also have a custom business. Lissy's Custom Creations is my business where I do custom shirts, cups, and stuff. You can follow me on Instagram under Lissy's Custom Creations. I'm also on Facebook as Leslie Alyssa's Mom Wilson, and Lissy 72215 on Instagram.
Okay.
And then if you want to see some of my funny videos, go follow me on TikTok. It's Mrs. Kitty Wilson.
Oh my goodness. I'm nervous about Miss Kitty.
Oh, my TikTok. I love TikTok. I
Me
love it.
too. Me too. Well, Leslie, I thank you for allowing me to get a little bit in your business about your story. I honestly feel like it's going to help somebody who's either in the beginning stages or somewhere along their journey and may have felt the things that you have felt. So I cannot thank you enough for taking the time to share with us. And please, tell us the date of the mammograms and mimosa. I know it's October 21st. Where is it one more time? Where is it going to be held? There we go.
So it's October 21st from 12 to 4. It's at the new downtown Cat Center. It used to be the old MJ Freed building.
Got you.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a guest speaker. The Speaker of the House is gonna be there. So and she's a brown girl like us. So she's gonna, speak to the ladies.
Nice.
And
Okay. Very, very good. So I thank you again, and definitely come back for the roundtable discussion about entrepreneurship, because I know running that radio station, you got stories to tell.
oh,
Yes, so definitely come back and participate with us, and
okay,
I appreciate you.
no problem.
Very good. So my last guest, I kind of introduced her because I thought she was on, but again, just when you connect with someone and you have you can bounce your energy off of them, and just really hit it off. I just have really come across some amazing women. Everybody on here tonight, I had a chemistry with. Whether they were excited, whether they were nervous to be doing a podcast, whatever the case may be. But everybody on here, as you can see, has had a positive, fantastic energy. So this next guest is no different. She is a ray of sunshine with, as I told her, a really dope job. And she's going to come and just share what her business is, how she got started. I definitely want her to talk about her role and how in our communities being a certified doula is so incredibly important. And there she is, Miss Morgan Harvey. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic. Thank you for lending us some of your time. I know you're coming from your own personal podcast. So I thank you for being on here this evening. Tell us who you are and tell us what your business.
Absolutely. My name is Morgan Harvey. I am a mother. I'm a wife. I am a chef, and I am a doula. And I have finally gotten into a place where I love what I do, and I feel like I am living my purpose. And I feel like that's what we all strive to do. So, getting and watching yourself grow into what you've always wanted for yourself is a great and exciting place to be. So thanks
That
for having me. I appreciate it.
is my absolute pleasure. So, two totally different worlds: a chef, a doula. You called yourself a doula,
Yeah.
right? So, that I put it on the flyer. I was like, a doula. That's so dope. So, kind of tell us a little bit about your catering business. I'm gonna spend a lot more time on the doula situation. You know how thrilled I am about all your
Yes.
services.
Well, that's so much fun too. Not that food isn't, but I have been in the food industry for over 20 years. I have worked in just about every capacity. Besides actually owning a physical establishment. And I worked my way into the kitchen a little, I guess a little over 10 years ago, or around the 10-year mark. So I have both front of house experience from, training to hosting to serving, bartending, to then actually being in the back of house, from cook to in every position, up to like assistant manager, as well. So I love the food industry. I grew up in the kitchen. If it wasn't with my grandmother, it was with my mom. And so that's kind of where I got my basis. And then just over time, it's always been like, hey, Mo, can you cook this? Hey, can you do that? So when I got to college, I would have friends who would buy groceries and come to my apartment once, twice a week, and we would have dinners, and I would just cook. I grew up around hosting. That's what my grandmother loved to do. Her door was always open, and I always say that my love for service and my love for cooking for others really comes from her. So Deliciously Dope is the name of my catering company, and it is a private catering company. We do anything from a dinner for two up to 300. So we do events as well, birthdays, weddings. We also do private vending events, or festivals. We've done a lot of different things in Delaware. We've worked with the Deaf Association, doing some stuff with their 5K walks and things. We work with Delaware Normal for cannabis advocacy as well. I actually do some consulting when it comes to their festivals, making sure that all of the food trucks are up together and make sense business wise for everyone who's coming in, all that kind of stuff. So I not only just, cook, but I also come from a consulting end of things when it comes to food, because I like the managing end of it as well as throwing things on a plate.
I love it. You getting a bag and a half. Jeez, I'll just have my own business, but I make sure everybody else's stuff is on point when they are serving food in a public space.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I feel like it's necessary. And when you're doing things like a festival, there are a lot of people, there's a lot of hands and a lot of different facets. And
Yeah.
the last thing that you want is to have copious amount of people coming through and then end up getting sick because we don't have someone that's actually registered, or we don't have someone who understands proper food safety, or precautions are just not set up, or things aren't set up in a way to be able to maximize food safety as well as everyone's health. Not even to mention, COVID, but just, in general. So, yeah, but it's fun. I've met some absolutely amazing people. I get to do some really cool collabs. So, and that's what I like to do. I like people. So
I love it. So let's talk about this whole doula thing. How did this come about? If you've been cooking all your life, how did you become a doula? First, tell for people who may not know what a doula is. We do have people listening from all different backgrounds. What is a doula?
So a doula is a non-medical support person. that typically when you hear the word now, you think about birth. There's doulas for all realms of things. So I'm not just a birth doula. I also do postpartum. I do adoption, as I am an adoptee. And then I also do abortion. There are people who are end of life doulas as well. So it really is a non-medical support person. When it comes to birth and postpartum, our number one goal is education. It's the education of the birthing process. It's the education of the birthing place that whatever the person chooses, whether it's a home birth, whether it's at a birthing center, or even at a hospital. What exactly is it that they should be expecting? What are certain protocols that they might end up running into once they get there? This way they feel like they can be able to make an informed decision about what they'd like. They have options before it's like last minute and someone's just standing in front of their face going, hey, this is, this is what this is. And so I'm like the realistic, I call myself a realistic doula, but I'm very type A. My purpose, like I said, is to educate, but also teach you how to be able to advocate for yourself. Once we have gone through the planning stage of the type of birthing experience that you would like, I really try to just make sure that everyone is prepared for that. But I also then give you what the alternative would look like. I don't really care what you choose as far as your birthing experience is concerned. You want an epidural in a hospital? Cool. That's what we can do. I'm going to make sure that you have both the pros and cons of all of those things so that you, like I said, again, are comfortable with the decisions that you make and you're confident in, no, this is what I want for me. So that if at any point in time there is anything that deviates from that, that's not medically necessary, you feel comfortable being able to say, no, this is not what I want, or no, this was not in my plan, and I need you to be able to respect my wishes.
I love that. And I think that that is so important, especially in the African American community, where the infant death rate is so much higher because of medical mistakes and, just different things that not having access to the proper care and things of that nature. So having someone to kind of actually help you to plan it out and force people to respect your wishes. I definitely wish that would have happened when I had my children. Somebody showed up and was like, hey, you're gonna have a baby in like 3 pushes. I'm like, who are you? So having that support is just really, really important. So
yeah. And even it's not something for first time moms. Like I have had clients who are on their 5th or 6th baby. And they're like, I've never had a doula before, but I really want one. And it's crazy how even after 5 births or 4 births, it's like, oh, I had no idea. Or why didn't anyone tell me? I wish I would have known that for my first 3. And that is, I think besides me really putting a name to what I liked doing, especially after I had my first son, I think that's what kind of catapulted me into this. I did not have a doula for my first child. I was blessed to have a great partner at the time. I was blessed to have an amazing OB. And the crazy thing is we hadn't even met until I was going into labor. I was supposed to, how like when you're in a practice, you typically go rounds and you meet people towards, the end of things. So I went into labor the day I was supposed to meet her.
Right.
But she was an amazing Black doctor. Actually, she still is. So shout out to Dr. Cummings at St. Roosevelt Hospital in New York, because when I say that things could have gone a different way, I was able to labor the way that I wanted to. And the crazy thing is I didn't even know what that meant. I just knew I didn't want a C-section. That was the only thing that I went into my birth saying, I just don't want a C-section. And she honestly made sure that happened. She tried everything because, we were having to consider that, but she made sure that she had exhausted all options before we were going into that. And she really did an amazing job of explaining to me what was going on, why she was taking certain precautions, why were we even having this kind of conversation. But I felt heard. And to feel heard in one of your most vulnerable times is something that I feel like is necessary. And as I have watched all of these other births, I realized how integral it is into making a really successful birthing experience, whether it is, via C-section or a natural birth. Being heard is something that is necessary. So after my first son, my best friend ended up getting pregnant with my goddaughter. And so I was kind of with her throughout that entire process. And that was, I guess, my first like toe in the water when it came to being a doula. And I was like, you know what? I like this. Like, I got to figure out what this is. And then it kind of went dormant. When I got pregnant with my second son, that's when I think I became a little bit more aware of what a doula was. And I frantically looked for one, and there were no ones that looked like me at the time. And so that was like, okay, you know what? Well, I love being the first to do stuff. That's typically my MO. So if there's no Black doulas in Delaware, I'll be the first Black doula in Delaware if this is what we need. So I went to looking at different trainings and trying to figure out, what was the best route for me to be able to take. And then one day I came across on Facebook this ad talking about a local training specifically for Black and brown women in the state of Delaware. And so I answered the call, and I have been a certified doula for a little over a year. My first doula baby is actually going to be one next month. So.
Nice. So the last thing that like just is the cherry on top. Talk about the placenta encapsulus.
Yes.
I love it.
Everyone loves to talk about this, and it's most definitely a conversation piece. So besides being a doula and then also bringing food into the birth work, I am a placenta encapsulation specialist. That means that I do take placentas, I turn them into pills. I also turn them into truffles, lollipops, shakes, meals, artwork, and keepsakes. So you name it, you got it. Yes, I've had people who have asked for placenta lasagnas and tacos. I have a lot of people who ask for smoothies, which is probably one of the most nutrient-based and nutrient-dense ways to be able to consume it. Why would you consume a placenta? The top reasons, a lot of us as African-American birthing people, we tend to be anemic. And so consuming that replaces a lot of the iron that's lost during the birthing process or even beforehand, so to speak. It helps flush out a lot of the kidneys, so a lot of the swelling and stuff that is experienced, it helps with that. It will lower the risk of postpartum depression and anxiety, and that's because it helps with balancing out hormones in the body for after birth. So those are like main reasons why. If you don't feel like consuming it, like I said, keepsakes are always the way to go. But at the end of the day, I always say, whatever you do, just take your placenta with you. Don't leave it at the hospital.
That one liner. And that's why I wanted you to kind of talk about it, because it is so we're learning new things and advancements in medical everything. A lot of people don't know that you have the option to keep it, and that there are people who can do something with it for you.
Absolutely. And you always have the option to keep it. You just roll into the hospital or the birthing center and you're just like, yes, part of my birth plan is to be able to take my placenta home. If you do not have a placenta encapsulation specialist that will do it for you, just know that you should take some kind of cooler to be able to keep it on ice for storage, just so until you can get home, or it can get home and refrigerated and or put in the freezer.
Nice. So I get pumped up about it, but tell the people, Morgan, how they can find you if they have questions, if there's anything, if they want to deal with Deliciously Dope or all the other cool things that you do. How can people get a hold of you?
Yes, on Facebook, we have a Facebook page which is Deliciously Dope. We also have the doula page, which is Beyond Birthing Doulas. I believe that's what the name is. I'm trying to think if there's services involved, but it is Beyond Birthing Doulas. Same thing for Instagram. If you are specifically looking for me, I am Doulef, so DOULEF_Mo419. Deliciously Dope is on Instagram as well, so that's Deliciously Dope Team. And Beyond Birthing is as well, and that's at Beyond Birthing Doulas. So you can definitely be able to, reach us at any of those. There's a link in the bio that will link you to either wherever we are, other companies that we do collaborations with, and then that's also where you can either be able to book for catering or to be able to request for consultations and things for doula services.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring all of our guests back, Morgan, and we're going to kind of have them close out the show
Okay.
and talk about the one thing about entrepreneur. It could either be a high, a low, but just talk about the entrepreneur journey and why it's so worth it if you can. And we're over our time, but I definitely want the ladies to share.
Yeah, for me, it's about having the freedom and flexibility when it comes to my family and being able to put my children first, or even have to bring them along with me on whatever kind of job that I need to do. It allows them to be able to really see what I'm doing, not just leaving the house and coming back, but that there's a skill that's behind it. And I think being able to really do what I'm called to do versus helping make someone else's dream come true is really what keeps me going. It's not the easiest thing, um, but I feel like it's worth it to feel like you are making the moves that are necessary to build the life that you want for yourself. And it's not for everyone. It definitely is not for everyone. But for those who it is and are really built for it, consistency is something that is so key. Patience is something that is so key. And then also being able to find that balance so that you have time for yourself. And you really need to make sure that you take care of you first. Because no one really talks about what happens if you get sick, what happens if there's a death in the family, what happens if, you really need to attend to some things. It's not like Walmart where, if he gets sick, the show keeps going. You know what I mean? If we get sick, the whole thing comes to a halt.
Right.
So that's really why I do it. And those are, some of the ups and downs. But at the end of the day, it's never anything that's going to make me want to go back.
So corporate America, Lord have mercy. Woo. Okay, well, thank you for that. Miss Yasmin, give us a closing about entrepreneurship. It can be the ups and downs, why it's worth it, the joys that you've gotten out of it. Share that with us.
I love entrepreneurship. It is like one of the best things ever. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. Like they've always only worked for themselves. So it just feels good to be able to make your own and like Morgan said, not make someone else rich. I have the flexibility to be home when I want with my family. But again, it's not easy. It's not for the weak. It's not for the faint. It's hard work out here than an entrepreneur. But I love it and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Absolutely. Leslie, tell us. I already gave the discussion. You just let it rip. Tell us, and then I'll close us out. But tell us.
So I'm not a full-time entrepreneur, but I work in my businesses full-time, and then I work 2 jobs. So I mean, it's fun. I like it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I just got to get that work-life balance together, being able to not be working at 9 o'clock and I'm still not done.
I was about to say, I know my show list a little late. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're fine. I still have to stay in my space for another probably 2 hours.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, with entrepreneurship, there is no clock out.
Yes, exactly. You just got to work
Absolutely.
until whenever the work is done.
Yes, indeed. Don't even have a clock on your wall. Don't even look at the time until the job gets done. But it's your job to get done, and you have the ability to put whatever touch on it that you want to put on it. So leaving your stamp with all your different businesses and your ventures is a really, really big deal. So thank you for that. I cannot say enough about entrepreneurship. Honestly, it's allowed me to expand my network. It's gotten me out of my comfort zone. A year ago, I wasn't doing podcasts. So all great things really happen outside of your comfort zone if you're willing to put the work in. And what Yasmin said is it's not for the weak. So a lot of people are not going to do it. A lot of people will say, you know what, I'm okay with, this is everything structured. There's nothing structured in entrepreneurship except how you structure your business. But things are subject to change and happen at any given time. Morgan thought she was going to be delivering somebody's baby this morning. Things change, and you have to be able to adjust and really shift when necessary. And I think that that's what counts a lot of people out, not necessarily wanting to put that work in and saying, you know what, that's too much. But the journey is so incredibly worth it. And I just looked at, for such a long time, putting my blood, sweat, and tears into somebody else's baby, right? But putting time and effort and my own efforts, the jersey on my, with my family's last name on it, has become so incredibly important and exciting to me. If it were not for entrepreneurship, I wouldn't even know any of you on this call today, right? Because I've connected with you in some way, whether it's about the podcast or whether it's about my business or whatever the case may be. So I've met some amazing people. I continue to have my vision stretched. I had people who say, I would love to help you with this. I'd love to show you this. So it's always a learning process. And I've just been so grateful to have the opportunity to go into entrepreneurship and build a business. So we are a little bit over our time. I told everybody we'd be done by 9:15. The Entrepreneur Spotlight really does run longer sometimes because people's stories and the things that they have going on are so unique and so exciting. And you want to make sure that everybody gets heard to share whatever parts that they're going to share of their business. So it goes over a little bit, and we apologize for that. But at the same time, hearing everybody's story and their different businesses, and it was like a celebration of women on here tonight, so hearing all of that just motivates me and excites me. So we are going to wrap up this installment of Your Money Matters Financial Empowerment Show. I want to thank all of my guests, Leslie, Asia, Morgan, Yasmin, Tiani. I want to thank you all for taking time out of your hectic schedules to get on here and really pour into our audience, not just for women, but men watch the show too. And they learn and they grow. So I want to thank you all for getting on here and just sharing and pouring into the audience. So I will bid you all a good night. And I will be sending you all replays and all that good stuff. Everybody have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
Check your boobies. Check your boobies.
Check your boobies. Right. Check your boobies.
CMPradio.net. It's the station. Listen, man, let's cultivate together. Bring us all your show ideas. Content creators, we're looking for that. Videographers, we're looking for that. You can be a part of the next great big thing that takes place right here in Chester, Pennsylvania.